Hello everybody, I hope you're doing so well always. So I'm going to do a pick a card reading today, and we're going to go with a nice classic pick a card of what does spirit what would spirit like you to know, or what has spirit been trying to communicate with you, or what has your intuition been trying to tell you, that kind of message. And we're going to keep it open and hopefully confirm some of your intuitions or bring through some new awareness today. So I'm going to be pulling 3 cards from this Earth Magic deck, and then we'll get into the reading. All right, so tuning into everyone who's going to be watching this reading today, Spirit. Let's see. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Oh yeah, also guys, my new website is live if you haven't already checked it out. Links in the description. Okay, Group 1. We've got Sanctuary, Cave. Okay. Group number 2, Spirit. Milky Way, Perspective. Okay. And group number 3, Spirit. Ooh, Tree, Grounding. Okay. Interesting energies that came through. So just to recap, group number 1 is Cave, Sanctuary. Group number 2, Milky Way, Perspective. And group number 3, Tree with Grounding. Okay, so I'll link the timestamps below, and then I'll see you at your reading, guys. Let's get started with group number 1. My cave people, my sanctuary people. Okay, so you might have been feeling recently like you wanted to have more time within yourself, like within your own energy, or within your own home, or within your own sort of sanctuary, whatever that means to you. Maybe going out in nature, or being around people who you feel genuinely safe with and safe to connect with. I also feel like this is a message from Spirit. If you haven't already been getting this message, then Spirit has been asking you to kind of rest a little bit, or retreat maybe from your usual amount of commitments that you might have had. If you can say no to certain things, I really feel like Spirit's even saying to protect your energy at this time, because you're either very, you have a lot of abundant energy that may be very attractive, and you need to kind of keep that channeling through into whatever it is that you're working on right now. And or you might have been feeling a little bit depleted at times, and Spirit's saying that there are certain people in your life who might be asking quite a lot from you, and that you need to know how to say no if you need to say no, and to kind of give yourself permission to focus on yourself and focus on your inner life, so your inner world, so very feminine energy. And I'm getting as well, if you see on this card, this man is doing some art, some carving in the walls. Let me get it to focus, sorry guys. And I feel like Spirit's also saying to retreat into your own energy in order to recharge, recalibrate, and so that you can keep on being creative, because I feel like you're a very creative person, and this is part of how you're meant to be. You're meant to always be moving energy through you and around you. And I feel like for some reason Spirit's basically coming through with the message to say that your energy has not been completely like balanced and in harmony with your environment. I'm seeing certain environments your energy explodes and you have so much energy, and then other environments it's like your energy depletes and you kind of retract in that creative expression. So I think Spirit's also saying to keep in mind about who you feel comfortable around and where you feel comfortable, and to basically recognize that this is a really important message. Again, I'm getting protect your energy. So I feel like there might be something around you that might be draining your energy without you maybe fully understanding what that is or even why that is. So we're going to get more messages about this. Okay, yeah. Meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. So, okay, maybe you've been feeling really like you just want to go towards something with like 100% acceleration kind of thing. And I feel like Spirit is saying you need to recognize that, there's like a really big message coming through. Hold on, let me pull a couple more cards so we can get this in its totality. Okay, we've got Moon, take note of intuitive messages. And then we've got Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. Okay, so for a lot of you guys, I feel like you've already been getting this message about someone, something, some situation that you find very energy draining. And of course, if you are aware that it's energy draining you, then you're probably going to have some emotions about that, because it's not a good feeling to feel energy drained, whether that's through the frequency of drama or turmoil or energy vampires of any kind, I guess. I'm getting for you, Spirit saying you really need to be in your feminine energy right now, as much as you might want to be in your masculine energy and try to fix something or solve it or come up with the next action step or make a plan, or I just see you really wanting to take action, really wanting to do and do and do and take action and do, and it's very masculine energy. But Spirit's kind of saying there is this need to retreat into your own energy field and into your own inner world in order to recharge, in order to contemplate, in order to allow stillness to sort of settle into your being so that a new energy can emerge. Because there's almost a big... So whatever you've been going through recently that may be causing you to... Okay, so for some of you, you might not be very happy with where you are. You might be like, I want to move, I want to leave, I want to go somewhere different. I can't stand this energy anymore, or I just need to make a huge change really fast. And Spirit is sort of saying, I've been hearing you, okay? I've been hearing you, Spirit saying. I've been listening to your prayers and I've been trying to answer them. But Spirit is saying that Spirit cannot get through to you while you're in this excessively masculine energy of trying to like push and solve and control and analyze and predict and plan. And and it's all based on this outward pouring energy. And Spirit's saying, like, just hold all of that back for a second. Just pull all that energy that wants to go forwards 100 miles an hour, pull that back for a minute so that you can recalibrate, okay? So that your energy can come back into alignment, and then you can take action moving forwards whilst you are in the energy of alignment. And what I'm getting is this energy where you're really wanting to push forward and you're really wanting to move and you're really uncomfortable where you are. I'm getting that it's also because there's some real deep emotions here that kind of need to be brought up and felt through and just released. And it might be a really quick release. Like it might just be like, you know, a quick cry or a quick rage or something. But I'm seeing that once you can just like let something out and not just want to go moving forward at any cost, it's going to allow you to actually receive the blessing and receive the answer or the lesson or the learning or the peace or the conclusion, the completion from whatever situation that you're in. Okay, yeah. So Spirit's saying for you, because of maybe a situation that you're in right now that you don't feel very comfortable in, or because you simply are someone who likes to make a lot of choices and use your power actively in this reality, it can be hard for you to rest, okay? And Spirit's saying, Spirit's been seeing you trying so hard, okay? Spirit's been recognizing that you're trying so hard to make positive change, to make a positive difference in this situation or this relationship or this whatever it is for you. But Spirit is saying that it's coming from this hectic place. It's coming from an ungrounded place where you're not fully connected with your emotions, okay? And so I'm seeing the need to potentially meditate for some of you. If you haven't already been, I see that some of you are very, very present in your life no matter what, but I'm even seeing like the need to create a still energy, create a stillness in your life. So Spirit's been asking you to, you know, turn off your phone or put your phone down for a while and just kind of be in the energy of being, which is very feminine energy. The feminine energy is just being. The masculine energy is like, I'm going to go out and do it. But the feminine energy is receptive. And it's peaceful, even as I'm tuning in now compared to this hectic energy I've been tuning in with in your aura. It's like the feminine energy is so much more still and peaceful. And it just is like this energy of being okay where you are. And Spirit's saying this is available to you. It's really available to you. And I feel like I'm even doing some energy work on you right now to just like pull this energy back so that you can just like feel whatever's with you right now. And Spirit's saying like a lot of this action that you feel like you need to take is from this frequency of urgency, which is not really an accurate thing. Like a lot of the time we can feel like that occasionally, yeah, we do need to take action from a place of urgency, but for you right now it's sort of like if you keep taking action from this place of urgency, well, A, it's not going to get you the results that you think it's going to get you, but B, it's kind of going to keep you like wondering. Okay, so Spirit's showing me the metaphor. So Spirit's saying if you are this caveman in this photo, so to speak, and there's this incredible answer waiting for you inside of this cave that you are sort of like living in, but you keep exiting the cave and looking outside in the world, and you're just trying to look everywhere outside the cave, right? And if you think about, there's so much land and places to explore outside of the cave, but Spirit's saying the answer is within the cave. So you don't need to go like adventuring out into the world. You can just go in the cave and look around at what's already around you, what's already within you, what's already here with you will give you the answers that you're looking for. Again, there's a strong message about being in your feminine, and Spirit's saying this is what's going to allow you to receive. So if you've got a problem that you're trying to sort out a solution for, Spirit's saying if you're in your feminine energy, that's how you're going to sort out the solution, because you're going to allow the space. It's kind of like if you clear your aura through meditation or through taking a salt bath or being in nature or just getting off your phone and just being in the energy of being and being like, well, here I am existing, Spirit's saying that is what is going to create the opening where this answer can come to you, where the actual answer that you're looking for or the solution to your problem can come to you. And it comes when you put down the problem, okay? This is what Spirit's saying. It's like, it's common for all of us. It's like we get so caught up in trying to look at the problem and be like, what can I do? How can I fix this problem? I'm looking at this problem. What can I do about it? And Spirit's saying what you can do about it is that you take that problem and you just put it down a second and you go take a bath or go for a walk or go meditate. And that is what's going to allow the energetic space for the frequency of the solution to come in. Because while you are inhabiting the frequency of the problem, the frequency of the solution is not a vibrational match to that. So it can't come into your aura, it can't come into your field, because you're just emanating out problem. And Spirit keeps trying to be like, solution. But every time the solution comes in, you like punch it out with your problem, with your frequency of your problem. So this is law of attraction, right? This is the way that law of attraction works. It's like yeah. All right, group 1. What else do you need to know? What would Spirit like you to know? Okay, Venus on this card, the Knight of Cups with Venus. Okay, so Venus is this energy to me of magnetism. So I feel like Spirit is again saying right now you are meant to be magnetic. That's what's going to get you what you want. And I don't know what it is you want. But like for everyone it would be different. But I'm feeling really strongly in your aura like you want something. And maybe it's even been a little bit suppressed a little bit because you've gotten used to this energy of the problem of not having that thing that you are desiring. But Spirit's saying regardless, this energy of desire is very strong in your aura. Even if you've been focusing on the absence of that desire, right? It's still very much, your aura is still very much being like, I want this thing. Even if you're looking at what you don't have, it's still lighting up the part of you that wants what you don't have, if that makes sense. Oof. Okay, so Spirit is saying that, again, whether you're a male or a female, the feminine energy is what's going to serve you right now. And it's probably going to feel like the hardest thing to do. But Spirit's saying it's going to be more enjoyable if you kind of allow yourself to go there. So with the Venus energy, Venus can also be about like indulgence and rest and pleasure and like very feminine energy. Like, you know how you can restore, kind of like a restorative energy through like taking a holiday or a vacation and just indulging, you know, and just being like, I'm just gonna like read a book all day or whatever else you do on vacation, you know. So I feel like there's a real strong message of shifting the energy through starting to focus on what you can enjoy in your life right now, especially if you're trying to manifest something, like you really want to move homes or something. Yeah. If you really want to move homes and you keep focusing on how you're really uncomfortable where you are and you don't like it where you are and all this stuff, Spirit's saying, okay, that is occupying the energy of the problem. If you want to occupy that frequency of the solution, that would be about enjoying your surroundings where you are right now, looking around and being like, okay, what can I enjoy about this? What can I enjoy about the fact that I'm on this side of my manifestation? Because this is the other thing that I heard recently and that I thought was really accurate, is that someone talking about the law of attraction, Earl Nightingale actually, in one of his really old recordings from like the 50s, he was talking about law of attraction, and he was saying how we actually are so much happier on the side of our manifestation where it hasn't manifested yet. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, but what? But it's true. And think about, he gave the example of like, you're always in a much better mood when you're on your way to dinner than when you're on your way home from dinner. Or you're in a much better mood in the morning of Christmas before you open your presents than you are at the end of Christmas when you've already had all the things, you know? So a little bit of a perspective shift could be in order here, so that you can recognize that where you are right now is actually a very beautiful place, especially when you consider that once you have all these things that you're desiring, another desire will be born almost immediately. But also you'll have a very different perspective on having it compared to when you didn't have it. And in a way, when you don't have it, you can value it, you can appreciate it, you can savor it even more, because you're like, oh gosh, it's gonna be so good when I have that thing. And then when you have the thing, it's just like, oh yeah, I've just got this thing, like it's no big deal, you know, I just integrated it into my life and now it's here. So Spirit is saying, like, shift your perception of what's going on right now and start to appreciate and enjoy where you are, even if you feel like you can't stop focusing on all these other things that you want. Even if it's a really hard thing to focus, even if it's a really hard place to be, like if you have some kind of health issue or something, Spirit's still saying, can you find a way of appreciating the journey that you're on right now, even if you think that where you should be is so much further ahead than where you are? Because there is something that can be gained from this moment in time that you can never have again. There's something that you are being offered and that you are being given through this moment in time that you're experiencing that you will basically never experience again, because it's unique to right now, and it's unique to where you are right now in the way that you're learning and growing and moving and changing. So there's always a way to find appreciation and gratitude, even if we are in the midst of, you know, not having, even if we're in the midst of other, you know, types of suffering, there is still a way of shifting perception and shifting your perspective. And it's ultimately the key that will unlock the change that you're desiring. If you can actually feel less resistance for just where you are right now, just a little bit less resistance for where you are right now, will create more space, more of an energetic opening for this thing to change and for things to move for you. Okay, and again, I'm getting this energy of water. So I think Spirit's been trying to say for you to drink more water, to stay more hydrated. I'm also getting a message about making sure that you're not drinking fluoride from the tap, because that can definitely impact you at a very deep level, drinking polluted water or fluoridated water, chemical laden water. So if you haven't already, I really recommend you investing in a water filter. A water filter that's coming through really strong. And I'm also getting, if you have animals, if you have pets, or that you have animals that you care for, give them filtered water as well. Okay, that's another thing that's coming through. Make sure you're giving your pets and your animals and your loved ones filtered water. Okay, because water is like the life force of life. Water is like the element that contains like all things within it, and it's so the most psychic element, and it's also so connected to our emotions, and our emotional experience of earth is like a huge aspect of what's going on here. And so what I'm getting for you is that for you, water is really important. It might be more important than for the average person. So living near water, going swimming regularly, having salt baths, having showers. If you feel your energy is being a bit drained, or you feel a bit weird or wonky in your aura, have a shower, have a salt bath. You can even get these spray bottles and just like put essential oils in water and then just have an aura mist. Go for it, It feels really great. So okay, we've got more messages coming through, okay? So with the emotion stuff, I feel like there is someone or some things in your life that don't make you feel free to be who you are, or free to move forward in the direction that you would like to, or the direction that you've been hoping that you will be able to move forward in. So I'm seeing that you have a very specific thing that you are desiring, or a goal or an outcome that you would like. Okay, so Spirit is saying that there's some part of your energy field that is like caught up in the free will of somebody else. And I feel like you might be feeling like someone else has some kind of power over you, or you have to wait to move forward until you hear from someone else, or till they make a decision, or until someone else forgives you, or until you forgive someone else, or something, this kind of dynamic, right? Where the free will of you and another person or a group of other people are somehow intertwined and interwoven right now. So Spirit is saying that this is causing this frantic energy of wanting to move. I need to move, I need to get out of here. And it's this masculine energy. But Spirit is saying to pull your energy, like we said, into that sanctuary within. Allow your inner masculine to stand, to stand there and guard you, but be in that feminine energy, because I think that there's a psychic message and a psychic meaning in all of this. And if you start to recognize, how is my free will caught up in the free will of someone else, and you start to pull back your energy, literally you can pull it back like a cord, pulling back your energy. Ooh, and the more that you pull back your own energy, the more that you are going to recognize what part of you was being kind of like it's like, what part of you was feeling disempowered? What part of you was feeling like you couldn't move forward? And Spirit's saying that you are free. You are a sovereign being. Okay, you are a sovereign being, and you can move forward, and you can have victory in this situation, or you can have success in this situation, or you can have peace in this situation, or just in general in your life. Okay, but there's something about your free will that's been caught up, and maybe it's even caught up in some kind of a health condition, right, where you feel like this health condition has power over you. Okay, and for you, it's like moving into your feminine energy, moving into the psychic realms, moving out of the energy of action and doing, just for a moment even, will allow you to receive more psychic downloads about the nature of what is happening in your reality right now, so that you can reclaim your power and move forward with purpose and in alignment. So you will be taking right action that will genuinely help you on your path. Okay, but there's also potentially an emotional release that has to happen, or a very emotional recognition of something, like an emotional recognition of like a release. And what it's going to do is clear energy. And it might be that you need to get in touch with the emotion of a dynamic that you're in with somebody, and just to release that emotion so that the energy will change for you. And it might not change for the other person, but it's about recognizing that regardless of how that other person or those other people are choosing to behave or choosing to use their free will, you can still use your free will in a way that makes you feel good. Even if there's some kind of a lost opportunity between you and someone else, or some kind of a relationship coming to an end, or some kind of a situation that feels there's a nastiness to it, or a sense of like, I do see that potentially for some of you guys, there may be like a group of people that might even be like ganging up on you a little bit right now, something like that, and it's not very nice. Okay, and so Spirit's saying you need to allow yourself to emotionally release that pain if there is pain present. Okay, and I'm seeing for everyone there's some kind of emotion present here that needs to be released. And that Spirit's saying that it's okay to kind of like let yourself feel vulnerable for a moment to release this, because it's not going to be too much. Like, I feel like for some of you guys, you feel like maybe if I release this emotion, it's going to be too much and I'm not going to be able to handle it, and it's going to be so much emotion and it's never going to end. And Spirit's saying you can handle it. Okay, so it's going to be okay. And I'm seeing as well a very strong presence, like an angelic presence with you, or a guide, a spirit guide, or a benevolent ancestor with you. And they have been trying to get through to you with this message of that it's safe to feel an emotion or your emotions, to release something. It might even be connected to a past life trauma or pain, and it's safe for you to release that, because you are held in this loving space, and you need to tune into your emotions to receive this feeling of being supported and to receive this feeling of being surrounded by this loving presence that you are surrounded by right now. Okay? I'm also getting a message that for some of you guys, you need to reach out and ask for help, because I see that you're someone who you're trying to figure out everything on your own, or you're trying to be really strong and tough and like not break down or something right now. Okay, and Spirit's saying you're not going to break down in any kind of way, you're going to break through. All right, if you need to release some emotions, it's okay. You're going to have a breakthrough because of that, and it's going to be okay. It's literally going to be okay. And this is what your guides have been trying to tell you. Like, they've been trying to pull you into that cave energy, that sanctuary energy, and just like pull you into their loving embrace and be like, hey, it's going to be okay. We're here with you. We see you. We see what you've been going through. We hear what you've been asking of us. We hear your prayers, and we've been answering them every time. We're always here for you. And you can come into your inner world, which is where your spirit team resides with you. You know, your spirit team, your spirit guides, your benevolent ancestors, your guardians, your like of all kinds, they're always with you. And if you don't feel them with you, you can ask them to come to you and you'll feel them with you. You might need to lean on the support of some loved ones, of some kind of someone you can trust, or a group of people you can trust. There's something about you don't have to do this all alone. Okay, you don't have to carry this all alone. You don't have to do this all alone. Okay? And if you have had things coming into your reality recently, like offers for help, like people offering to help you, or someone being like, oh, I'm trying this new thing and it's been working really well for me. That could have been your guides trying to work through these people to help you. So you might have had people offering assistance, or offering to help heal you, or offering to send you energy, or you might just have been noticing that different people are offering different kind of variations of solutions or something. And Spirit's kind of saying that there's help around you that you might not be really seeing properly right now, or you might not be recognizing how much that can help, because I think in the past a lot of things that you have tried maybe haven't helped as much. So you might feel like, oh, well, how do I know this is going to help? Okay, but particularly so Spirit's saying it will help if you can stay open-minded about solutions and stuff like that. But the other message that's coming through is that there's specifically a person or a group of people who Spirit has literally aligned to help you. Spirit has aligned a group of people or a person in particular to help you heal at this point in your journey, okay? Because you need some physical assistance to help move some trauma, or help move a pattern into a new expression in your life, okay? I also see that for some of you guys, there may be a message about, this might be very much to do with love of some kind, okay? And again, I'm connecting with your feminine energy, no matter your gender, connecting with your feminine energy and connecting with the spirit of water. The spirit of water is really going to help you. Okay, there was another message in there. Let's pull one more card about this, because... Okay. The Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to pull one more and then I'll show you. And the Fool. Alright, Spirit's saying it's just a couple more steps and then you're going to have this breakthrough. You're going to have this new beginning, alright? Okay, yeah, and it's positive. I feel a lot of relief in channeling that message then. Like, you're going to have a breakthrough. You're going to have a new beginning. You're going to have an exhale, right? A moment of like being held. I'm seeing it as almost like, what do they call, like a trust fall? And Spirit saying like a few more steps and then, you know, you're going to be caught. You're going to be held by love. It's kind of a cryptic message, but Spirit's saying keep going because you're only a few steps away. But it's like, it's so funny because it's this classic thing where you can't tell where you are on your journey when you're in the middle of your journey. You can't tell if you're like 2 steps away from like, you know, a huge breakthrough, or if you're 100 steps away. But regardless, you just have to keep going, right? Because we never know if we're a couple steps away, if we're 100 steps away, if we're like, you know, a few thousand steps away from our next breakthrough. But that's kind of like the way that this whole world works, right? So you just have to keep going one step at a time. But Spirit's coming in to basically say, if you are exhausted, if you are so tired emotionally, physically, spiritually, please keep going, because there's a few more steps and then there's going to be a new unfoldment. There's going to be a new beginning. Okay, and I'm seeing some of you guys aren't even believing me right now because you're like, it's been so hard for so long, or something like that. Well, that's the message Spirit's coming through with. And the Fool is no joke, all right? The Fool is the first card in the Major Arcana, and it's genuinely a new beginning. I mean, it's like a 0, right? It's like a whole rebirth energy. So what do they say? It's darkest before the dawn, group 1, but my gosh, the sun will rise for you again, okay? For now, just enjoy the energy of the nighttime and the moon, because there's a lot to learn here. Alright, that's all I have for you, group 1. I send you so much love for your path, and I'll connect with you again soon. Bye. Hey, group 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose Milky Way perspective. So what I'm getting for you is that you are very much a starseed, and I feel like you hold this energy that brings a really different perspective to Earth. And Spirit kind of wants you to know that if you've been going through some really tough times recently, where it's felt like a lot of challenges, one after the other, 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 when you haven't had a lot of time to just breathe or just be, yeah, it's been a lot of like, I'm feeling like a high pressure energy of like a lot of challenge. But basically, Spirit is saying that you've been so much focused on the energy of the path that you kind of can't really see where you are right now. And that's a good thing, Spirit's saying, because if you could see from the perspective of Spirit, you would be like, oh my God, I'm doing so good, I'm doing amazing. And you would have a totally different kind of outlook on your own life and on yourself. And Spirit wants you to know that as much as you might feel like you might be a bit out of alignment or something, because you've been going through so much struggle, Spirit is saying that it is not a sign that you're out of alignment necessarily, as it's a sign that you're learning very, very important lessons. And let me just tell you right now, Spirit wants you to know that if you are an advanced soul, such as yourself, that does not mean that you incarnate onto Earth and just have a easy breezy life, right? If you're an advanced soul, that means that you take on oftentimes the most challenging set of circumstances to go through on Earth, to grow through, and to basically shift that energy. So it's like you've come to earth to basically like turn dense and stuck energy into lightness, to free the energy on earth. Like I'm seeing your energy is very connected to the energy of freedom, and you're here to like bring freedom to the earth, to like free energy that has been stuck. And I'm seeing you do it primarily or initially through breaking these generational patterns in your lineage, in your bloodline, and to turn that around and to make different choices, which, my gosh, can take so much energy. Because if you consider a karmic lineage, right, has been carried on from generation to generation, they say it's approximately like 7 lifetimes back that you heal when you heal your own bloodline. Okay, but in a way, it goes on infinitely, right? So there's a lot of momentum going in a certain direction towards, toxic patterns that you are literally reversing. So you're like turning the steering wheel around, and it's like, oh my gosh, So Spirit wants you to know that you're doing really well, and that you need to recognize the perspective of where you are isn't so bad, even if it doesn't feel all the time like amazing. That's Earth, baby. Hello, welcome to Earth. You will have many varied experiences here. Let's go on. I feel like Spirit wants you to connect with your starseed lineage so that you can remember that you're not just an Earth baby. You're a star baby as well. Baby. Why do I keep saying baby? And I feel like Spirit wants you to recognize that you are like a star being on Earth, and you aren't meant to only live around the Earth frequencies. You're meant to bring those star frequencies into the Earth and let them radiate and shine through you. And unless you are doing that, you will not feel whole. You'll feel like there's some part missing to you, or you'll feel like there's something that's not clicking. And that's because you need your star lineage. You need that ancestry to come through for you, so that you actually, because part of your mission I'm getting is that, part of your mission is like largely to do with bringing that energy that you have occupied in different star systems, even in different like galaxies, maybe not even in the Milky Way galaxy. Like, how's that for perspective? You know what I mean? You're meant to bring that energy that's like beyond Earth to Earth, and it's going to help raise the frequency of Earth. And I mean, it is kind of the classic starseed mission, but it can't be underestimated, essentially. And Spirit's saying that you are working with a dense karmic load in this lifetime because you are a starseed, therefore you're an advanced soul, which means that you are able to work with dense karmic patterns in a way where you're actually going to free yourself from them and free your family bloodline from them as they... because you embody it, and therefore you alchemize it within yourself, and you change it, and then you change the way that it is moving forward. So Spirit wants you to know that even if you're in the midst of deepest struggle, and you've been in the midst of deepest struggle for a while, that doesn't mean that you're not an amazing soul, and that doesn't mean you're not having an amazing progress happening, okay? Because I'm seeing that sometimes you're very hard on yourself, or you're very like confused as to why you go through so much pain and struggle. And I think like, I definitely don't have all the answers for you. Like that's something that is so deeply personal for us to like move through in a way. But what I can tell you is that it's not out of alignment for you to be where you are right now, even if you're going through shadow work or you're going through challenge. Because again, Spirit wants to reiterate that an advanced soul does not incarnate onto Earth and has an easy breezy lifetime. An advanced soul incarnates into various different kind of like limitations in a way in order to free themselves from them. Okay, let's keep going. Bright future. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. Lakshmi. It's funny because it says bright future, but I'm also getting from this sense of I feel like you're about to be blessed. Like you're going to have a lot of luck coming through, because I know Lakshmi is associated with luck, but I've never even read this card in that way before. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, you're going to be lucky. Like you've got luck coming in. And Spirit wants you to know that, again, this is going to maybe shock you from where you are right now in your perspective of things. You might be like, I'm lucky? What? I'm going to be lucky? But Spirit's saying like, yeah, you're going to be really lucky, and you're going to think like, and it's not lucky really. It's not luck, it's alignment, okay? It's not luck, it's alignment. But Spirit's saying like people around you are going to think you're really lucky, but also you're going to feel a little bit lucky as well, because you're going to feel like, wow, the sun has come out, you know, on a day when I didn't think the sun would come out, right? And it's like, you're going to feel like the sun. Okay, this is the energy I'm getting. This is how I describe the energy I'm picking up. It's like, if you imagine you're in the middle of like, I don't know, a freezing cold day, and you're just like so cold, and you're thinking, oh, I wish the sun would come out. And as soon as you wish that, the sun comes out from behind some clouds and just shines so radiantly on you, and it warms you up, and you just feel like, did the sun just come out just for me? Like, did that just happen? And that's how you're gonna feel. It's like, that's what I mean by lucky. It's like, you're gonna be like, did that happen just for me to experience that and have such a nice moment of bliss? And Spirit's saying, yeah, it did happen just for you to experience that and have a beautiful moment of bliss, because not only do you deserve it, but this is how your life is meant to be moving forward. And Spirit wants to reiterate that it's not luck so much as it is alignment. And I feel like you're really, really working well. You're really doing well at discerning who you actually are, like who the energy of you is. Because I see you incarnated into a situation in your family system where you were such a starry seed that you probably didn't really like recognize who you were in this earth. Like, why am I here is kind of what I'm hearing. Like, I sense this energy of like, I know that I'm different from everyone else I can see around me, and I don't know what I'm doing here. And Spirit wants you to know that like, okay. Spirit wants you to know that if you can realize that if you're in an environment that truly supports you for who you are, that is how you're going to feel like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing here. I know what my mission is. I know that I belong here. I know that I belong here. I keep hearing that. And the way that you're going to feel like you belong on earth, and that you feel really connected to earth, and that you really want to be here all of the time, is by basically connecting in with the people and the environment that will truly nurture you. And for some of you, you might be more solitary beings, so the environment that might be right for you is more like living on your own, or living in a remote location or something like that, and you need that silence and that peacefulness. But what I'm also getting is that for all of you guys, you need to recognize that your history of like how you have fit into the world, and even on some of your history of some of your relationships, is not even an accurate reflection of who you truly are. And if you are able to basically align your energies, which I'm seeing is what's about to happen with that sun metaphor coming in, it's like your energy is about to align to the point where you're going to bring people into your life, and it's going to nourish you, because you're going to finally feel this environment of like family, or this environment of basically feeling at home on earth and feeling connected to the earth. There's some kind of healing that's going to take place. It's going to shift things for you. It's happening soon. And Spirit wants you to know that you need to let go of any kind of preconceived ideas of like, oh, I don't get along well with people, or I'm just gonna die alone, or I'm never gonna find a partner because I'm too much for people. Whatever the story is, Spirit wants you to let that story go, because that story is not true. That story, or what conclusion you have come to about yourself, was based upon your environment at birth, which was not a reflection of how you are capable of showing up in relationships. And I think an important aspect for you in your relationships is, well, I think an important aspect of life on earth for you is your relationships, actually. And Spirit wants you to recognize that you might have a tendency to cut yourself off from relationship, or to retreat a lot within relationships, or to not expect very much from people, or to not ask for anything from people, or to not share very much with people, or to kind of like write them off before they've even started, or to not trust people, or to basically envision your life without other people. And Spirit's saying like, this is understandable because of what you've gone through in your life. However, it's not a reflection of what is possible for you. And I think there might even be a deeply buried desire. It might not even be that deeply buried for some of you guys. It might be right sitting on the surface. But for some of you, it's more deeply buried. And it's this desire to actually connect. It's this desire to connect with people and to actually be seen for who you are, and to be heard for who you are, and for what you see things as, and how you believe in things, and to like just be who you are. And it's authenticity. Who you are on the inside matches who you present as who you are on the outside. And so there's an effortless continuity of inside and outside of yourself, right? And I'm seeing this sense of like you maybe were very, very authentic growing up, to the point where people around you maybe have made fun of you for that, and so you didn't know how to be authentic or something. And for some of you guys, maybe you tried to hide your authenticity because you felt vulnerable, people made fun of you for it, etc. So Spirit's kind of saying to reclaim your authenticity in a way that you recognize that it's such a beautiful thing, even if for you it's hard sometimes to fully, how do I want to put this? Okay, so it's this energy I'm getting of, imagine if you have like a mirror in your home, but every time you are near the mirror, you're like avoiding looking at it. You're like, I don't want to look in the mirror. I don't want to look in the mirror. I don't want to look in the mirror. And you just avoid the mirror in your home. At all costs, you do not look in the mirror. And Spirit's saying like, why don't you want to look in the mirror? And Spirit is basically saying, if you just like could just stop for a second and look at yourself in the mirror, and really just sit there and just like allow yourself to connect in with the energy in your own eyes, and really look at yourself, you would be able to see this beauty and this radiance and this belonging and this star being quality that you are. And I feel like if there is this tendency in you that you just like want to avoid looking at yourself, or you want to avoid intimacy or relationships or that kind of thing, starting to actually look in the places that you don't want to look is going to free up so much energy for you. And you're going to be like, why didn't I just look in the first place? Why didn't I just look at all? And it's kind of this thing, like Spirit is wanting you to witness how lovable you are, and how beautiful you are. For some of you guys, you might struggle a bit with your self-image or your self-worth or something like that. And Spirit is saying like, you aren't seeing yourself clearly. Yeah, Milky Way perspective. You aren't seeing yourself clearly. You aren't seeing it clearly. You need to shift your perception of yourself so that you can actually like bring in to your awareness your beauty and your amazingness and all these things. So Spirit's saying, if you just look into the mirror that you might have been avoiding, you're going to find that there's a beautiful reflection waiting for you. And it's almost like I'm seeing this version of yourself looking back at you in the mirror and just like smiling and in this confident energy and just like radiating all this good vibes. And Spirit wants you to like see that as a reflection of yourself. Like, keep working with this reflection energy, okay? Because you know what else I'm getting is like, and this is common for starseeds, by the way, from what I've like learned through meeting like a million stars, not a million, I've met so many starseeds now, and there's often commonalities between our experiences. But anyway, it's really common for starseeds to be projected upon because the vibration is different than those who have experienced mostly life, or who are going through a different density of experience. Like starseeds, we're working with really upper dimensional energy, so we have a different frequency to us, and that's part of the magic that we're here to work on Earth. But this high frequency energy can be quite foreign to some people, or to a lot of people, and so a lot of the time their perception of you will be distorted through their low vibration. So they might look at someone's confidence and think, oh, this person's being prideful, or they're being egotistical or something, right? So it's like a distorted way of interpreting someone's energy. Especially this happens if a high vibrational person comes in contact with a low vibrational person, okay? This is just Like, I mean, it's just physics, to be honest. It's like either that person is going to be like really swept up in that high vibrational person's energy and be like, yes, I really want this high vibration, and like open to it, or they're going to reject it, be like, that's foreign to me, I don't have that in me, that's wrong, there's something wrong with you. You see what I mean? So it's like there's this way that you've been projected upon by people that have projected upon you, quite honestly, very negative things, and kind of like negatively interpreted your motives, or negatively interpreted your just like anything you do. Like I'm just seeing, like, even just you, I don't know, like saying, you know, just basic things, like it's almost like you get interpreted in the worst possible way. And for some of you guys, you might be like, really? And I think Spirit wants you to know that this is potentially happening for a lot of you guys. Yeah, because it might help explain why sometimes you get weird energy from people, or sometimes people seem to like not like you, or to be competitive with you, or to be triggered by you when you're like, I didn't do anything, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so Spirit's saying basically there's a lot of projection happening, and whether you realize this or not, this was happening from a very young age in you. And what this has caused is this sense of you not wanting to look at yourself, because you didn't have that healthy reflection back that a baby needs, that a child needs, that a growing young person needs, which is a healthy reflection and affirmation of who they are and what their strengths are. And to be like, you know what, you're doing amazing, you know. I'm seeing this projection onto you that was not accurate, and it caused this self-image to form within who you think that you are. That Spirit is saying, like, we'd like to kind of blow that one up so that the real reflection of you can be seen. Yeah, it's kind of like if you imagine again a mirror in front of you, and there's like a distorted lens over that mirror, so what the reflection you're seeing of yourself is not accurate. So Spirit's saying we need to clean the mirror, even remove those distortions, so you can see your radiance and your beauty and all the things that you are amazing, all the things that are amazing about you, and all the ways that you are thriving, and all the things that you're doing right. And Spirit wants you to really focus on this for a time, okay? Because this is really what's going to help you kind of start to rework and reform your self-image and your sense of yourself. And Spirit wants you to know and start to empower yourself about the nature of projection, because it's a common thing in this earth. But like I said, it seems to be so common for starseeds. So basically, I'm also getting for you this message about energetic boundaries. Okay, so let's pull some cards about this. This is a collective theme I'm feeling for like all of the earth right now, is like we're learning about energetic boundaries. And you know what is so true about energetic boundaries? Oftentimes it is certainly for your group anyway, is what I'm getting. It's sort of like you are about to have accelerated growth. You're already in a period of accelerated growth, okay? And many rewards are coming from this. And this is what Spirit wanted you to know at the beginning of this reading, even though you might have felt like you were out of alignment recently, or you've been going through so much shadow work, or you're like, why has life been really hard for me? This must mean that I'm doing something wrong. And Spirit's like, no, you're doing everything right at this point in your life, okay? And it's bringing you a lot of accelerated growth and many, many rewards. I'm hearing rich rewards. Accelerated growth, bringing rich rewards to you. So this is the primary message about shifting your perception of where you are right now, and being like, oh, maybe where I am is a good thing, and maybe where I am is going great, and maybe where I am is perfect, and all this stuff. Number one. But Spirit is also saying, now that message just fell right out of my head. Okay, I remembered your message, group 2. My gosh. So Spirit has basically been saying, like, before something can manifest for you, and you might know what that is, or you might be about to get a huge, great, beautiful blessing of a surprise from the universe, because what I'm feeling is that it's really positive, whatever this thing is that's manifesting for you. And like I said, for some of you guys, you might not have been consciously really manifesting a whole bunch of not much, and that's because Spirit has a great surprise ready for you. But for some of you guys, you might know kind of what might be coming in. But what Spirit is saying is that energetic boundaries need to be shifted before this thing can manifest for you. So this is because if it were to, because it's kind of like Spirit's like, Spirit wouldn't give you something unless it was going to be held in a way that was supported. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise you would get angry at Spirit and be like, Spirit, why did you bless me with this thing only to have it all taken away from me, right? So Spirit wants to bless you and have it be long lasting. But what Spirit's basically saying is that in order to do that, some energetic boundaries need to be changed, updated, I've heard. And so we're going to pull some cards about these energetic boundaries, because that was the message that fell right out of my head for a moment there. Okay. Trust the great mystery and love is all around. How can group 2 shift their energetic boundaries, Spirit? Be loyal to what you love. Oh, okay. I got it. So I feel like what Spirit's saying with be loyal to what you love, dog spirit. I feel like, okay, interestingly enough, what I'm getting from this with trust the great mystery, whale spirit as well, and nightingale spirit, love is all around, and spider spirit, make your dreams real. Okay, so what I'm getting is that you might be loyal right now to someone or to an idea or to something that isn't really like deserving of your loyalties, is what I'm getting. And Spirit wants you to rethink how you are distributing your time or your energy, because I'm feeling like there might be some kind of a dream that you have on the back burner, okay? Or there might be some kind of a thing that you feel like you keep sacrificing it because you have to look after someone or do something for someone. And obviously we all have like different levels of, you know, responsibilities for people in our environment, which is totally fine. But what I'm getting is that part of this loyalty is like kind of caught up in this sense of like, maybe you don't feel like you're worth doing your own thing, or how do I word this? There's an energy you feel like you're selfish if you put yourself first, okay? And what I'm getting for you is that you've lived a lifetime of giving a lot, that for you, what would actually be counted as equal giving and taking to you would feel like, oh my God, no, I'm being selfish. And Spirit again wants to come through with this perspective message that you might not be able to see clearly, like the way that you're showing up in dynamics. Okay, you might think like, oh yeah, it's fine, like I'm you know, I'm fine where I am, or I'm okay to give this much. And Spirit's like, oh my God, like you know, you're giving like 100% to this. You see what I mean? Spirit wants you to be around people but you give 50-50. And Spirit is saying basically that you might not even, if you've had like little intuitions of like, maybe I need to pull back my energy here, or say no to a few more things, or do things a bit differently here. It's like Spirit saying that has been your intuition speaking to you, but you seem to have been like, no, I have to be loyal. I have to be loyal. I have to keep my commitments, or I have to be loyal to, I don't know, certain people. And I'm just seeing this message of like, for you to come back into balance, which is super important for you in general, because we all need to be in balance. Like otherwise the universe will balance things out for us. Okay, so that's the other thing. If we don't kind of implement balance for ourselves, it's like one of the laws of the universe, like things need to be in balance. So if we are living this life that's very out of balance, eventually if we don't kind of recognize that and then fix it up a bit, the universe will kind of just come in and do it for us. And it's usually way less fun when that happens than if we just like take initiative ourselves. I just had a crazy ear ringing just then. So Spirit wants you to know that you might not be able to recognize the way that you are sort of self-sacrificing in service to others. and that for you, coming back into balance might feel a little bit selfish, but that if you do feel that sense of, oh no, I'm being selfish, I can't do this, kind of think back to this reading and be like, wait a minute, Spirit said that I might feel selfish as I'm learning to come back into balance with how I'm using and exchanging my energies. So I'm going to listen to this and still go ahead with this feeling and of saying no, or of doing less, or of giving less, or of whatever, or of receiving more, right? And so the other thing is Spirit saying, like, you need to recognize your value and your worth. Because I feel like part of this loyalty thing is that you don't value yourself as much as you value others. Like, and I don't think this is a overt thing. I think it's just like, how do I put it? It's like a subconscious thing. It's like so deeply buried, like this thing of like, oh, I just put someone else before myself, or I just do someone else's laundry before I do my own laundry, or I make someone else a meal before I make myself a meal. And Spirit's saying, like, this is coming from such a loving place in you. So Spirit doesn't want you to feel bad that this is happening, but Spirit does want you to recognize that the way that you've been operating is a reflection of the environment that you grew up in, and it's not a reflection of what is possible for you to experience within your lifetime. And if you would like to receive more, then that is what's kind of basically be happening for you, but you still have free will, okay? And this is another thing coming through, and this is just life on earth. Again, we have free will. So Spirit can align for us all these things that would take us onto a different timeline, that would help us to, expand in different ways. But it's like we have to make the choices that align to that. We still have to use our free will to say yes to bettering ourselves, yes to more equality in my relationships, yes to receiving and giving in harmony and inequality. We have to say yes, and we say yes through our actions, through our choices. So I feel like Spirit is kind of being like, you got this, you can do this, you can make some of those tough choices that might make you feel a bit selfish, like, I'm feeling a bit selfish by doing this. And it's actually so cute. Like, honestly, have a little giggle at yourself, because that's such a cute, like, that's such a, like, adorable, cute, like, what's the word? It's like lovable trait, it's so lovable that it's hard for you to put yourself first. Like, it's kind of a beautiful, lovable thing. Do you know what I mean? Especially considering how much of the opposite of that there is in the world. Do you know what I mean? So basically, as soon as you decide that you're okay to receive, the universe is going to bless you like bonkers. I don't know why I heard bonkers. That is so weird. The universe is going to bless you like boom, 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 boom. Okay? But Spirit's saying, like, and it might even be a womb healing that needs to happen, or some kind of a sacral chakra healing, like even a soul restoration stuff going on here, so that you can feel safe to receive, okay? And receiving is a very feminine energy, right? Because we're taking in. But Spirit's saying, like, that is the next key. That's the key for you. That's the next piece for you in moving forward, basically. Okay, let's pull one card for you to finish group 2. But yeah, you don't have to look at things that you're going through right now as like, oh, I'm doing something wrong or something like that. Spirit's saying, if you do find areas of improvement, such as the receiving thing, can you look at yourself with love, in a loving way? Because we can look at the things about ourselves that we have to change. We don't have to look at it and be like, oh my God, this is terrible. I'm so bad that I'm doing this thing. I can't believe that this is who I am. It's like, can you kind of bring some humor to it? Like, in that same kind of way that you might laugh about a character trait that someone you deeply love has, or that, a dear friend of yours has, that you can be like, haha, that kind of like, that's what makes you who you are, and therefore that's beautiful. And we can look at ourselves, and we're even looking at ourselves with the lens of self-improvement, like, what do I need to change, what do I need to do differently, how do I need to grow, whatever. But we can do that with so much love in our vision of ourselves. We don't have to look at ourselves as being wrong or not good enough or any of these things. Those are trained way. We train ourselves to look at ourselves that way, right? And this is the other thing with when we're growing and we're changing from things that have happened to us, you know, from our early childhood conditioning, who we were conditioned to be as a kid, that took repetition. That took day in, day out for many, many years. And so when we are doing the work of self-change, that also takes repetition, and that also takes endurance over a long period of time. We have to be willing to show up for ourselves day in, day out for many, many years. But we will get the growth and the rewards that we desire. Like, we just will. But we have to persevere and we have to keep going. And I think repetition, you know, is the biggest key in this. It's like the biggest thing that we can do to maximize the shifts that we can experience in our reality. We must be willing to repeat. We must be willing to come back again and again and to keep going. We can't kind of do something once or twice and be like, well, it didn't work for me, I didn't get any results. It's like, can you stay with something long enough to get the results that you desire? I just saw a huge purple orb of light when I said that. So there you go. Final card for group 2, Spirit. Thank you. A time to give rather than take. Isn't that the opposite of what I was saying? Let's clarify that. A new start is coming. Ooh. So we've got 2 new moon energies. A time to give rather than take. Let me just channel some light language so I can definitely get this energy clarified. Ia tula maka aisha ta yesula buata aina kada pshoto amaka ta kere to ta kada ya tarite to da bakata da ta yo to revitika da na to repata kare ta isya to rebioma. Oh, okay. Spirit's saying that Spirit wants to clarify the message about giving a lot of your energy. Okay, because what Spirit's saying is, if you are around the people that are like soul family to you, or that you have a deep resonance with, or that you have a deep familiarity with, like, oh yeah, I get you, you know, you're an empath like me, or you're a giver like me, or whatever. Spirit's saying these are the people where it's safe for you to give to, because these are the people who are capable and who are willing of giving back to you. So Spirit wants to clarify that for you, it's about pulling your energy back from people who are incapable of reciprocating. But it's not about stopping being the beautiful, generous, giving soul that you are, because you are very much meant to meet a group of people, or a person in particular, or a community of some kind, who you can give to with abundance and that you will receive back abundance from. Okay, and this is what I was getting about the energetic boundaries. You need to pull your energy back from certain people, creating an energetic boundary so that a new start is coming where you'll be able to be who you are, which is generous and giving, in an environment which supports you to be that way. And yes, there might be a little bit of an initiation when you are first pulling your energy back from people who are not reciprocating and who it's very imbalanced with currently. You might feel selfish, or they might accuse you of being selfish or cruel or cold or unfeeling, or all these things, even though you're an empath, which is like hilarious. But Spirit's saying you must pull it back from the people who are not reciprocating, because otherwise it's like, it's this energy drain, okay? And this is the balance of the universe that I was trying to tell you about, right? You can be this giving, generous person. We got this Virgo energy here, being of service through the way that you give, but you must do that in the right environment, for you. That is so important, okay? So yeah, you do have a new start coming. And what I'm getting as well is that, like, once you sort out this energetic boundary of when you overgive and your energy leaks and then you get depleted and drained, once you stop doing that, you are going to be receiving so much abundance, because this is the thing. When we are of service, when we are giving of our energy and we are giving abundance, we are giving service to others from a pure hearted place of genuinely wanting to help and uplift and be of service, we will be given back to from the universe. And it doesn't always mean that we're giving back to from the exact same place that we put the energy into. It's like if you go out of your way to help someone in particular, it doesn't mean that that person that you helped will be able to give you back in the same way. But you will find that the universe will restore and replenish that energy that you gave out in a way that feels really good, that feels really abundant. But Spirit's saying that this natural mechanism cannot work if there are people in your life that are inappropriately taking from you. Okay, where it's not just I just want to give to you and I don't expect anything in return. It's like, I just want to give this thing to you, and then the universe will come back and give you something else in return. But it's like, if there's an energy situation happening, and this is what I'm getting, it's like someone or some people or someone or some kind of a dynamic, it's like the energy that you are putting into it, it's like this energy is just sucking it out of you. It's like sucking and sucking. It's like draining you. Like it's literally like a suction pulling your energy away. Okay, and this is not the same thing as just like giving and receiving. And even if you give and it's not the same person who you receive from a different thing, So basically, Spirit is saying this mechanism works of like giving and generosity, but it doesn't work if we are being delusional or if we are being self-deceiving about the nature of somebody that we're giving to. Okay, so if someone that we're giving to is being exploitative, entitled, if they are lacking empathy towards you and how you are feeling, and they don't care if you have to give and give and give until you're bleeding kind of thing, that is not something that is not a natural mechanism. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, that's almost an unnatural exchange of energy. That's something that would turn, that's something that's inverted. That's something that takes away from your life force. Okay, so that's a different thing altogether. But when you're giving in a way that feels aligned to you, and you're like, yeah, I just want to give because I have this energy to give and I don't expect anything in return, and it doesn't drain you to the point where you're knocked out, that's when the universe can come in and balance that out for you, and it's all good. But in that situation where you're getting energy drained and it's just going into it's just like this bottomless pit of energy drain, okay, that's something that the universe will have to balance out in a really big way, like removing you from that situation. Okay, oh my god, that took a little bit to ding ding ding, but I think we got there. Oh my god, group 2, let's pull one card as a final guiding message for you. Okay, group number 2, Spirit, what would you like to say? Rainbow blessings. Yes, that's right. These blessings, this is the thing. Spirit is like, as soon as you can cut out that energy drain or stop that source of energy drain or stop that behavior where you're loyal to someone who doesn't deserve it, this is when your whole aura will change. Your whole energy system will change, and the universe is just going to dump so much blessings on you. It's going to be, what do they say, a windfall. It's just ding, 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 ding. And it's because you so deserve it, essentially. You just deserve it, group 2. Alright, that's all I have for you today. I do hope it served you in some way, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Alright, group 3, you chose tree grounding. And I'm hearing as above, so below, which is beautifully depicted in this tree image. So this is also the image for the whole deck. You know how there's a deck image? because yeah, it's all the same on the back. There you go. So I feel like there's some major energy going on for you. Okay? There's some major thing going on for you. There's some big deal going on for you. And this is why you need to ground your energy. And you might not know what that thing is, or you might have had a little inkling, like a little sense of like, like I feel euphoric for no reason, or I feel this energy of something happening, but I don't have anything planned, you know? It's like that feeling that you get before you're really excited about something to happen. But I'm getting this sense from you that you might not know what that thing is that's about to happen. You're like, why am I having this feeling like something amazing is about to happen? Okay. And what I'm getting is that there's something major. It's like major though. It's not just like a little temporary ding. You know, it's like a full-time ding. It's a full-time thing. It's a very positive blessing. Okay, let's get some tarot cards. So, but Spirit's saying that this thing is coming in for you, and this is why you need to ground your energy, okay? This is the reason why, because such an amazing thing is about to come in for you. And it might kind of, and it's like so windy outside right now, which is confirming this. It's like, it might kind of take you off your feet a bit. It might kind of like, whew. So Spirit's like, ground in so that you can kind of weather the storm, so to speak. Because that is true for us, whether it's like a beautiful blessing of a storm or if it's like a big shadowy shadow work storm, right? It's like we need to stay grounded in the highs of life and in the lows of life. You see what I mean? But I'm seeing for you, Spirit's like, stay grounded, because we're about to like bless you with some amazing things. Oh, okay. Ace of Cups. Okay, so for some of you guys, it could be love coming in. That makes me feel so romantic for some reason. And I don't usually feel that in readings, even if there is a love message. So for some of you guys, you might be like, what? Okay, obviously for some of you guys, you might be with someone already or whatever. But whatever's manifesting for you, it's going to be something that you love so much. But for some of you, even if you don't really see this coming, I feel like maybe there's love coming for you, and it's going to be like a beautiful, loving relationship that's actually like one to be celebrated. Okay? All right. Group 3. Yeah, I feel a little bit like, like the energy is like big, it's high frequency. This is the other thing. Whatever is manifesting for you currently, you need to be able to ground it, because I'm seeing it's very high frequency energy. And in the example, if for example, this is a love relationship coming in for you, then it's going to be a very high frequency connection that you're going to need to ground a lot, like do a lot of work to grounding it down into the earth. And for others of you, if it's not so much love relationships, it's something that you very much love. It's going to bring you a lot of emotional satisfaction, fulfillment, a lot of joy, a lot of gratitude. And it's also going to signify a new beginning for you, okay? Because the Ace of Cups, Ace talks about beginnings. So there's something new beginning for you. And again, this new beginning is going to erupt out of nowhere. And Spirit's saying ground in. You know, it's kind of like buckle up, put your seatbelt on, because like we're like starting the plane. It's kind of like this energy. You might have been in this energy for ages of, you know, if you've ever been sitting on an airplane before it takes off and for some reason there's some kind of a delay, and so you're kind of just sitting on the airplane waiting and nothing's happening, and you're just like, okay. And maybe it takes like so long and you kind of just like, oh my God, you know. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're moving. Oh, we're actually going somewhere. Here we go. And then before you know it, the plane's like all the way up in the air. So Spirit's saying like basically, yeah, that's about to happen for you in a really, really positive way. Like it's going to bring a lot of, again, I'm hearing emotional fulfillment, and don't underestimate that, okay? Because emotional fulfillment, by the way, can be anything. Like you can get emotional fulfillment through having a lot of financial abundance, if that's what is right for you, you know what I mean? But what I'm getting is like the emotional aspect of this, okay, is that it's going to make you feel a lot like being on earth is a lot easier. okay? Because I see that you hold a very high frequency. And I think this message about the tree grounding is true just in general, that you need to be able to ground your energy because you are a high frequency person, okay? You're a very high frequency person, and the more that you can ground it in, and I'm seeing you literally putting like roots into the earth, the more you can like put your roots down into the earth, the more that you can then rise up in ascension. Do you know what I mean? The more you ground in, the more you can rise up. So, the emotional fulfillment aspect of it though, that is going to be so, like, don't underestimate that, because it's the difference between like living a life that you enjoy, that you want to wake up to every day, that you feel inspired to keep creating, or that you feel aligned, you have a mission, you have a purpose, you have a reason for being, you know, versus being like, I don't want to wake up today, I don't want to face reality, I don't want to have to be here, everything hurts, it hurts to just exist, da da da. Like, that's what I mean about don't underestimate the way that something feels, the way something makes you feel. So important. Okay. Group 3, Spirit, what would you like them to know? North Node, step out of your comfort zone. Okay, so this change that's coming in, this new beginning that's coming in for you, I feel like some of you guys have been feeling it coming, like, again, I keep getting that. Yes, it's going to bring you out of your comfort zone, but only in the sense as that you are completing a cycle right now, and you're at the end of completing the cycle at this point. You've been completing a cycle recently where you have basically reached mastery over it. So you're in a position in your life right now with this cycle that you're completing at the moment where you're like on the top of your game. You know, you're feeling great, you're feeling amazing, you're like, I know who I am, or I know where I am, or what I am. That didn't make sense, but you know, you kind of know, like, you're like, yeah, this is life, and this is what it is, and this is how it's going, and this is where I am. And, you know, there's a lot of certainty in a certain way. Like, you might have a strong routine, or the same kind of people you meet up with the same time every week, or, you know, this kind of sense of certainty. And Spirit's saying there's going to be something coming in for you that's going to disrupt that. And I feel like you are going to be taken into this unknown territory. And a part of you might be like, because part of you might resist it because you have gotten used to things being a certain way. And you're like, well, things as they are right now are pretty good. So would I want to risk losing all of this for something that's so unknown out here? What if, you know, this person comes in and then it turns out to be terrible and it's traumatic and I get my heart broken again, da 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 da. Okay, but Spirit is saying, North Node, it's your destiny. You really can't avoid it. Spirit's like, well, too bad. We're going to bless you anyway. Okay, obviously you have free will, but this thing that's coming in for you, it doesn't feel like it's optional. Okay, and I know that sounds weird, and you might, again, have even more resistance now and be like, what are you doing to me, Bridget? Why are you telling me these things? Okay, it's because Spirit wants you to know ahead of time that you are being blessed, okay? And that the thing coming in for you is so positive. It's so positive. And that, yes, it does seem like you almost have some kind of a soul contract or some kind of a soul level agreement with this person you're meeting, or with something that is going to be eventuating. Like, maybe it's this opportunity to travel, because I did get that image of the aeroplane. Maybe it's this opportunity to travel, and there's a part of you that's like, oh my god, I'm afraid, I've never been here before, I've never done this before, da da da. What if this, what if this, what if this? And Spirit's like, this is destiny. Like, this is destiny. This is, it's like all of your choices have gotten you to this point. So it's not like you didn't create this yourself. It's not like you didn't have a hand in creating this yourself. But Spirit just like wants you to know, essentially, you have created this for yourself. You have created the circumstances or the auric energy field for the universe to bless you in this way. Okay? But because it's going to bring such a huge change, such a full essence of like newness. Everything's going to feel new to you. There might be some trepidation. There might be some sense of like, oh my gosh, I was like this tree planted so firmly in the ground last week, and now I feel like I'm just flying about in the air. Okay? But Spirit's saying that you can stay grounded during these changes, and that you might feel like I'm just thinking about this period in my life, Spirit's showing me, where I just had so much change happen at once, and I had so many responsibilities at the same time, and it was so hectic. Like it was so hectic. But Spirit is like showing me this time and basically being like, it was all a blessing. Like all of the things were things that I wanted. Okay. So it was like this abundance of blessings, but at the same time, there was the sense of like, my gosh, why does this all have to happen at once? Like I felt like I was waiting like so long, like even years, and then all of a sudden everything came in at once, and I was like, are you kidding me, Spirit? Okay. But this is what I'm getting for you guys as well, is like, I feel like you are entering this period where you are being blessed, like in more ways than one, or one significant thing is going to come in that will change everything else, or, you know, this kind of way. But you know, in nature, when fruit ripens on the tree, it tends to ripen within such a small like window, and it all comes at once. And this is like, there's like a peach tree in my garden, and oh my gosh, every year, it's like I've lived here for 2 seasons of fruit now, and every time it happens, I'm still so shocked because it's too much. Like I feel like I'm like a Virgo, so I want to make use of every little thing. I want to like not waste anything, but it's so hectic when everything ripens at once, and I'm like, what am I going to do with all of this? Like I have to give it away. I have to, you know, try to cook it or like preserve it or something, which I'm not very good at. But anyway, this is what I'm trying to say is like, when things ripen, it's usually all of it ripens at once or within a small window of time, you know, within like a week or so. You've got to make use of all those peaches, right? And so this is the kind of thing coming in for you that Spirit wants you to know about, because it might be a bit hectic, because it's sort of like, yeah, you're going to have to take a lot of action, but in a positive way. Because think about it. If you've been waiting a whole year for your fruit tree to ripen, and then, you know, it starts ripening and the fruit is like so luscious and ready, and then you're like, you know what, I'm just going to not do anything about it. I'm just going to take zero action now. I'm just going to like lay in bed this whole winter, like this whole summer or whatever. Then it's like, well, you're going to waste all this delicious fruit that you've been waiting for, that you've really been wanting. Do you know what I mean? So Spirit's saying stay grounded in the practicalities of things, and you're going to be fine. And remember to appreciate the blessings as they're coming in, and be like, wow, it's actually a good thing that I have this many peaches ripening at once. It's a good thing that I have so many that I can give them away or whatever else, you know, rather than being like, it's so unfair. Why are all these peaches ripening? And now I don't know what to do with them. And some of them might go rotten and it's not fair. It's like, you have to be aware of like how you are framing what's going on in your life, you know? Okay. But yeah, basically it's like really positive. But again, it's that energy of the harvest comes all at once. Why does it do this? I do not know. I've wondered this many times before. It's like all of your Christmases will come at once. But Spirit's also saying there's a sense of like, all of your choices have led you to this. Like all of your, you know, thoughts, feelings, actions, everything has led you to this moment of harvest. And so Spirit wants you to know that you are very much deserving of what you are receiving. You're very much worthy of it. Because I know as well there is this tendency, I think, that we can spend so much time cultivating what we are wanting to manifest, like journaling about it or thinking about it or daydreaming about it or whatever else. And then when it finally like shows up in our reality, we might be like, oh my God, am I ready? Am I good enough? Is this going to be okay? And Spirit wants you to know that this is just a natural human response. Pretty much, Spirit's saying pretty much everyone feels like that when they have these things coming in. So it's not about denying that part of you that might be a bit overwhelmed, but it's about recognizing that it's normal, because you've got a lot on your plate, such as all of these peaches. What are you going to do with them? Okay. But again, recognizing that is kind of the nature of things, all right? Things will the fruit on the tree ripens at the same time. Like all of those peaches are ripe within like 1 week, and it's so hectic and it happens so fast, and there's literally hundreds of peaches. But Spirit's saying you can handle it, all right? You can definitely handle this. Okay. What else do you want Group 3 to know, Spirit? Stay high vibe. You guys are in a great vibration at the moment. Seriously, doing really well. And I do see that you're grounded people. And I think Spirit's just saying stay grounded as things change, you know? Stay grounded as things are changing. Great teacher. Learn from spiritual experiences. Interesting. Let's get one more going. I do feel like you have something to do with your mission is to be a teacher of some kind. Oh, hold on. Ooh, seer, see beyond the current situation. Let's get one more because I'm getting 2 different messages from that. Broken arrow, embrace the energy of peace. Okay, so Spirit is saying that whatever you have gone through in your life or whatever you're going through right now, there's an aspect of you that is learning from everything that you're experiencing and from everything that you've ever learned and from every person you've ever had a conversation with. It's like you have this ability to like learn from everything and to take that in a way that you can like deliver it in a way. So you can take it in and learn from something in order to like speak about it and be a teacher and a leader about it. You know what I mean? And this is a very strong gift because a lot of the time people will hear something that they resonate with and then they'll just go ahead and say it again without doing that inner work of like letting it come into you and let it become personalized through your essence and your energy and how do you want to express this message rather than just sort of like parroting someone else's message. You know what I mean? And so this is what makes a great teacher. This is what makes a great leader. This is what the meaning of original thoughts are, you know? It's like so exciting. But I feel like with embrace the energy of peace and broken arrow, again, I'm being shown this period in my life where so many blessings came in, but at the same time, because so many blessings came in for me, I also was given this contrasting perspective because now I was in contact with all of these blessings, this frequency of the blessings, and therefore I could also see in my life like what was outmoded, what was done, what was old energy, what was stagnant energy, what was limiting beliefs, what was, you know, basically with great beginnings come great endings is kind of the energy I'm getting. And sometimes we can't even see what is going to end until something new comes in and that we see the contrast between the new energy and the old energy. We're like, oh my God, that is so different. That is crazy different. You know what I mean? So yeah, with embrace the energy of peace, broken arrow, there might equally be some endings as well. And I think this is, again, just the nature of what happens, because I see you being leveled up like 50 levels. Like, this is a quantum leap, okay? That's what it is. This is a quantum leap. It's not like slow progress, like one step at a time on a staircase. It's like spirits coming behind you, like an angel's coming behind you and carrying you up like 20 steps at once. And spirit's saying it's not that it's divine intervention so much as you have called this in. Like we can arrange quantum leaps for ourselves, you know what I mean? Through the choices that we make and how we align. So I see you have arranged this for yourself. But spirit's saying when that happens, things can change really quickly. And we will outgrow things very quickly. And sometimes that can bring a little bit of grief and a little bit of a sense of like, I didn't know all my blessings would also bring all of these endings and things I have to let go of as well. But that is what I've experienced in my own experience of life. It's both. It's both. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, Spirit's saying see beyond the current situation. And honestly, if these energies, people, places, things, jobs aren't a match to you after your quantum leap, then that's positive. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a positive thing, even though it can bring different emotions with it. Whew. yeah, I mean, you're going through, again, Spirit wants to reiterate that you have worked for this, you have earned this, and this is a beautiful blessing for you. But I'm seeing again, it says embrace the energy of peace, broken arrow, and then we've got great teacher, and there's a dove on this card, which again is a symbol of peace. So spirits are saying like you are a very peaceful person and these situations will be handled peacefully. It's not going to be in a negative sense, because this is like the opposite thing of what do they say? They're like, it's like that saying of like, if you don't change, the universe will change for you. You know, it's like if you don't do it, the universe will do it for you. Okay. But you're not in that energy at all. I'm actually getting a totally different energy from you. It's like you have created the means for which both things can happen simultaneously and as they are aligned, which is kind of the mathematics or the equation of what creates a quantum leap. It's like when the universe is ready to bless you, and you are also ready to bless yourself through the choices that you're making all of the time. So it's not like you're in denial or you're in a bad energy, like a dishonoring energy or something, and the universe has to come and like snap you out of it. It's not like that at all. It's like you are in a self-honoring energy, and the universe is going to honor you as well, and therefore you're going to be accelerated like really quick. And that's going to look like some new beginning happening for you. Okay? Again, it's positive. I hope I made that clear. It's very, very positive. This is the thing, like we don't always know, and yeah, see beyond the current situation. When it comes in, you might not be able to know where it's going to head. You know, like you might meet someone and you're thinking like, well, what if, like, I can't see beyond this situation? What if, you know, it turns out terribly? But Spirit's saying you can see beyond this situation using your heart, using your intuition, using that feminine energy of seeing without sight. See, she's got her eyes veiled. So if there is a sense of trepidation within you, Spirit wants you to know that anything that is coming in will always be greater than the old. Okay? It's going to be better than what was, even if you were pretty comfortable with what was. Right? Oh my gosh. This is crazy. This is cool. Okay. One final card. Advice for group 3 as they're navigating this, Spirit. Guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So the main message I'm actually getting from this is about your inner child, remembering to love and care for your inner child through all of these transitions, okay? Because I feel like that is the part in you that would be feeling afraid, and that would be not trusting, or that would be wanting to run away from these blessings, you know, like ignore all the ripening peaches on the tree. You know what I mean? So there might be a part of you that feels afraid. Well, I mean, there will be a part of you that feels afraid because it's been coming up this whole reading, okay? And that's normal. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling that. It's a very natural place, and it's the vulnerability of our inner child, basically. And we all have this to different extents, and depending on how we personally choose to work with that. You know, sometimes people will ignore that inner child, or they'll try to silence that inner child with like substances or something. But it's like all you have to do is just give it a little bit of recognition. And it's going to be able to help you ground into this change a lot easier if you recognize that there's this little inner baby in you that is like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. And then on the back of the deck, we have inner wisdom. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. And I love this card for you because I feel like you are a very wise soul. And I feel like Spirit wants you to know that, you can navigate this time superbly, okay? You've got this group 3. I have no worries about you handling this at all. Even if there is a few little bumpy parts, it's totally fine. Like, you are right where you need to be to receive this. So Spirit is never going to give you something that you can't handle. Even if you're like, holy shit, Spirit, like you really gave it to me. You really gave me all the things at once, huh? But Spirit is like, you're also going to learn from these experiences. Like, I learned so much from my time of blessings. Like, oh my God, you're going to learn from it as well. But Spirit's also saying, like, even if you feel like it's hectic and every aspect of your life is like blowing up at once, like health, work, finances, love, friendships, family, everything, like home, everything's going at once. You're like, holy, how do I like navigate all of this change, all of these blessings, everything? It's like Spirit's like, you know what to do. You got this. Take appropriate action without delay. Just trust your inner wisdom. You got this. All right. All right. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, you totally got this, okay? Okay. Alright, group 3, that's all I have for you today. I hope it served you in some way, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.